Good morning. My name is Dana LaChapelle. I teach video productions and broadcast news at Toby Johnson Middle School. And since we are cooking, and then we go to recipes. This is my favorite part. I like to start them off with a reader, and a reader is a story that is written for the desk anchors to read. It does not have video. We don't cut to sound bites. It's just a really simple news story. I teach my students that the reader should be about 5 sentences. Those simple sentences that are subject, action, object. So this is an example of a reader.
A huge shopping center will be opening soon. Delta Shores Shopping Center is being built off of I-5 and will be the only major shopping center between Natomas and northern Stockton. It will include over 100 stores, including In-N-Out, Starbucks, and a Regal Cinema. If you want to see more upcoming stores, go to deltashoresacramento.com. Now let's go to Kalani and Jonna on the desk.
All right, so she nailed it. So we've got examples of that. For stand-up, just the reporter. And if they've got a good photographer with them, they're framing it so that we can see what they're talking about. The readers that they write might be read by themselves if they happen to be scheduled to be on the desk. The stand-up is something that students can go do. So for the wrapper, some different people call these different things, but I've ended up calling this a wrapper. And this is, to me, the next progressive step from writing the reader or being able to do a stand-up. The next step toward awesome is the wrapper. And that is where they have information, and then they cut to a soundbite, and then they conclude, or they wrap around that soundbite, and they conclude with information.
Mathletes is a club where students meet at 7:30 to practice math equations and problems to prepare them for mathlete competitions.
Math is always in everyday life, whether you're talking about money or temperatures or anything related to the real world. And so if they can have fun with the math, that's what Mathletes is all about.
Math is everywhere, and Mathletes is one way to use it. Mathletes is still accepting new students. If you're interested in Mathletes, see Miss Otani in MF11. Reporting for TJTV, I'm Lucas.
And to me, the ultimate, the holy grail, is the news package. The news package brings it all together. Natural sound, B-roll, sound bites, reporting. You can start to get wrappers if you want to walk your kids in a sequential way. You can take them from a simple wrapper to one that's more complex, so maybe it comes back to the reporter. Maybe she says something else, and maybe then they cut to some B-roll or with some voiceover. Because once you start building multiple elements, to me, that's called the news package. These were all made by 12 and 13-year-old kids. I need to say that too, because I don't say that to make excuses for them. I say that because I think that you'll be impressed.
Some people may think crossing the road is easy, but for Doris Wallace, it's big business. 80-year-old Doris Wallace has been a school crossing guard for Toby and Franklin for 11 years.
They want me to tell you a funny story? I have none, except I'm 80 years old.
She works a total of 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, with a goal of getting kids safely across the street.
I'm still out here trying to help the kids.
Whitelock and Franklin is one of the busiest intersections in the neighborhood. Working rain or shine, Doris helps an estimated 3,830 people cross the street. Doris's #1 goal is to make sure.
No, they're safe.
Reporting for TJTV, I'm Nick.
What's nice is when you start with the wrapper, it teaches the kids, and this is, I've just started with the wrapper, this is new for me. And it's such a good step because trying to teach kids to go straight to this is so hard. So once they get the wrappers going and then they get a little bit more advanced in their wrappers, then they're ready to bring it. So I really want to point out, if you are brand new, don't let anything overwhelm you ever. Dip your foot in to where you feel comfortable, then push it a little bit further, and that's where you should be.